Don't leave me, okay? Hey, Arthur. Hi. Can you hear? Arthur, can you hear me?
You didn't join the meeting. How can he hear you?
I don't know. I'm looking at him. So what I do, I sent him the mail.
Can I have my phone? Can I have my phone? I'll get it in 2 seconds.
You're in. You're in it. Stop it. You're in it.
Low battery. I only have 10% left. I can't go in here, Shelley. Hi, Arthur. He doesn't hear.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody. Now Irene's going to start, so I'm going to mute everybody, okay?
Gotcha. You know how to pin her, right? You know how to pin her, right? Where she takes up the whole frame.
Okay,
I
I could begin, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Everyone, so happy to see you in my kitchen, and I am to introduce a very interesting recipe to you. This recipe is very familiar. I've made it many times. It's a vegetarian borscht. One of my most favorite food, actually, honestly. First of all, again, congratulations to Dina on her birthday. Congratulations to Gary Kagan on his birthday. I already called his family. Gary, both Gary and me are from Ukraine. And Ukrainian borscht would be the right staple, just the right symbol of the Ukrainian, Jewish Ukrainian, I should say, culinary culture. Those of us who want to cook with me, I strongly recommend wearing an apron and gloves. I mean, I already chopped everything, so I'm just wearing the apron, but just in case. Beads can color anything you're wearing, so I'm wearing black, black top. Borscht, mixed beet soup. It's based on beets, but before we start putting beets in, we have so many other ingredients to add. I already have a pot on the stove. I turn up the flame on a medium heat. And what's good about this recipe, this borscht, is you can start cooking as soon as you turn that heat on. There is no time wasted. What we begin with is, and I'll show you to the camera, I prepared here, I don't know if you could see, onion, 1 onion peeled, 3-4 bay leaves, and peeled ginger root. I sliced it right in the middle here to have more juice absorbed from it. So what happens first? The onion, 4 bay leaves, and the ginger root sliced in the middle here, divided in the middle.
Irene,
go in the water.
Irene, may I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Am I doing the onion like this? Like, or do I cut this part off? Do you see what I'm saying?
Onion is just peeled, I mean, cut off from both ends, of course. The ends are cut off. And then you just peel it off. And the whole peeled onion goes in the water.
Got it.
At the very end, you will be taking that onion out of the pot. Maybe tomorrow morning. Let it stay overnight. I have to warn you. What you could cook right now could be eaten tonight, but the best way to eat it is actually tomorrow. That's why it's great to prepare this borscht for certain Jewish holidays. You could do it in the morning or night before, and you already know you just have to warm it up. So, onion, 4 bay leaves, and 1 ginger root. Some people in Russia and Ukraine, they don't have ginger roots there, so they use parsnip root, peeled, which is also fine. I prefer ginger root, which I could easily find in any supermarket. It gives me just the right flavor, and it's great to protect you for any stomach problems. It's great for your stomach, ginger. What do we add next? First, in Russia, I was using, in Ukraine, I should say, that's different now. I was using just black pepper, whole black pepper. Right now, instead of black pepper, I prefer to use a little bit of cayenne pepper. Just a sprinkle of it. I don't know if you could see it here. That's what's here. Just a sprinkle of cayenne pepper goes in the pot. 1 teaspoon of paprika. For paprika, I actually prefer to use, I buy that one on 108th Street and Forest Hills. Galil paprika with oil, finely ground. I don't know if you could see this.
Hold it closer.
Hold on. And I'm looking. Galil paprika with oil, finely grinded. So I put a little bit, not a full, just a small teaspoon of paprika, and it goes in the borscht. Excellent. Now we wait for the water. We mix it up. We wait for the water to boil. As soon as it's about to boil, I would add, I already have it prepared, a mix, soup mix, consomme soup mix by Osem company. They produce it, it's kosher part, of course, but they also have it in kosher for Passover version, which you could easily use. So during Passover time, you could cook this soup too. It's great. Consomme, Osem consomme soup mix. So I put it in 2 tablespoons of that mix, and I'm waiting for the water to boil. While water is being boiled, I mean, I've already prepared or other ingredients, I have to tell you something about borscht. To me, pronunciation would be borscht, because in Russia or in Ukraine, what you eat, what is called pit soup, is borscht. Borscht is Yiddish. So both are good for me. Just borscht is more familiar. It's a delicious soup which you could eat hot or cold. There are several options of preparing borscht. I'm preparing right now a hot borscht option. There are many recipes of this soup. I guess almost every family who has certain kitchen traditions, culinary traditions, could be proud of their own, of its own special recipe of the borscht. So I'm sharing with you the recipe which I cook and my family loves. Most of my family loves. Some of my children don't eat soup at all.
Ask you something? I've also eaten white borscht.
Oh, yes. Borscht usually, traditionally, is a beet soup. So that would be a red soup. There is also sorrel and spinach, which you would be using instead of beet. So the color of borscht would be different. Mind you that in Russia, probably a red borscht, beet borscht, would be the most traditional one. Actually, Borscht originated in around 5th century. It was originally made not even out of beets, but out of cow parsnips. It was made by Slavs, and 12 centuries later, peasants shared their recipe with more prominent people, with nobles. Nobles got a taste of borscht and started adding to the simple peasant food new sophisticated ingredients. And that's how we got beetroot. Beetroot came from the faraway region. Beetroot didn't grow in Ukraine and Russia back then. Also, what was added later, potatoes and tomatoes came from Europe. And Europe got them from the New World, and Spanish conquistadors brought them in around 16th century. So by 17th century, it all came together, the beetroots, the potatoes, tomatoes, all of them could be put in a soup, and found their way into both Ukrainian and Russian kitchen. Borscht was a favorite of many Jewish shtetls in rural Poland, Lithuania, Ukraine, Russia. Ashkenazi Jews cooked that red borscht without meat. It became a very traditional dish for Passover or any day, any other day. Cold vegetarian borscht served with sour cream was eaten as a day meal during Shavuot. Ashkenazi Jews brought their favorite recipe of borscht, red borscht, to America and preserved it as part of their identity till 20th century. There's one more thing. From the 1920s to approximately 1970s, the Catskill Mountains were the resort many Jewish families took their vacations at. It became known as the Borscht Belt because that was a place where Jews went in the summer. So Borscht, the Borscht Belt, stayed for very Jewish atmosphere of the place. So I'm happy and proud that I can cook that borscht and share it with my family, with you too.
Irina,
Yes.
Irina, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Bill. Just want to say that looks delicious. I'm on the iPhone. I'm just about to run out of battery power, but I'll look at the recording, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Bill. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Bill.
Bye-bye.
Irene,
Yes.
Irene, mine is not boiling yet, but it's getting there. But you and I spoke on the phone the other day, and you wanted me to remind you of something about when we drink.
Oh, yes. Yes. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting. Yes. We have a few more minutes and it's just right time to. Ladies and gentlemen, red borscht has many, many health benefits. Maybe more about it later, but it also has an ability to color your urine into pinkish hue, give it a pinkish hue. The reason I'm saying that, maybe not all of you, but maybe some of you, after eating this borscht tonight, will find out tomorrow morning that their urine looks a little bit pinkish. Please do not panic. Please do not ring your physician. Stay put. Remember, you just ate a beet soup. Thank you, Ellen, for reminding. So my water is almost boiling. And we are ready to add the soup mix. 2 tablespoons of the awesome consommé soup mix go into the pot. And I mix it up. Now, I could start adding, I don't know, whoever cooks with me, is your water boiling on the stove?
Almost.
Almost. Okay. So the next, while the water is almost boiling, let's prepare celery. I took 2 stalks of celery. I cleaned them up. I sliced them like this. They're ready to go into the pot. That will be our next step. Sometimes I have 3 stalks left on the celery. So what do? I slice 2 stalks the way I just showed you. The first stalk I don't leave alone because it will wilt very easily. I clean it up too. I just cut it in half and put it in a pot too. Tomorrow morning I get these 2 halves of the stalk, of the celery stalk, out of the pot. But for now I have 2 stalks put in. Next, after celery goes green bell pepper. 1 medium-sized green bell pepper. I seeded it, I chopped it, and now it looks like this. I'm periodically looking at my computer to see if you can actually have any good pictures. Is it seen?
Yes.
Excellent. Green pepper. Before I put it in, I have to tell you something. The onion we put in, we don't need it, we just need the juice of it. The onion actually is very, very good for you. I put onion in all my soups, in borscht too. It lowers your cholesterol. It gives you your immune system a boost. It's great nowadays to eat onion almost with every meal. Talking about cholesterol, green peppers lower your cholesterol as well.
Irene,
Yes.
I mean, it looks really, really great. So is there a particular kind of onion that you use? Do you use a sweet onion? Do you use a
Vidalia onions are okay.
Okay.
White onions I usually use for my salads. Red onions also, I don't use them for soups. Vidalia onions or yellow onions are fine for soups.
Thank you.
Good question, thank you. By the way, whoever wants to ask me a question, please, whatever comes to your mind, I like the light conversation going. So green peppers going into the pot.
Irene,
Yes.
do you remember the first week we found out that the Wassermans don't like, what don't we like? Cumin. We don't like cumin. Today you're gonna find out that the Wassermans don't eat green pepper, so it's okay if I don't put it in?
How about you put red pepper in instead?
I thought about it, but I didn't buy one, but next time I will put a red pepper.
Yellow pepper, orange pepper, whatever peppers you eat, put them in.
Okay.
Not a
Very
big deal. I mean, I personally prefer green pepper because I don't want it to be too sweet, but red pepper is absolutely fine. Actually, some people do put red pepper in borscht.
Oh, okay, I'll change my recipe.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions? You're welcome, Ellen. Any other questions? Not yet. Okay. Mixing them up.
Do you ever make meat-based borscht soup or always vegetarian?
Meat borscht soup. Personally, lately, I don't make it. It takes 1 more hour. This one is much easier, simpler, and I personally really love it to be served with sour cream. So for me, vegetarian is great. Vegetarian borscht is great. I could serve it with any meal. I could eat it with my favorite sour cream. Or if you serve something meaty afterwards, without sour cream. But I mean, you could serve it with any meal. And again, remember, this is a borscht, which is usually prepared in big portions because you'll eat a little bit today and more tomorrow. You cook it for 2 days, not only for tonight. Here are 5.5 gallons of water. It will serve around 8 people. I'm sorry, quarts of water, not gallons. Quarts of water. It will serve around 8 people. Depends how hungry they are. Maybe less. Maybe.
If you have leftover, so you just put in the fridge, right?
Absolutely. You cover it, you put it in the refrigerator. Tomorrow it comes out, you put it on the stove, you warm it up. It's even better. Promise. It's not a joke. Something in these vegetables staying together overnight produces that mass effect, which I cannot explain. It tastes twice as good tomorrow. Seriously. Ask any person from Ukraine or Russia, they'll tell you exactly the same thing.
You don't freeze. Somebody.
It won't be bad today, but, and actually, when you finish cooking, let it stay for maybe an hour and then eat it. Let it stay a little bit and then eat it. Tomorrow, warm up and eat at any time. Yeah, somebody asked me a question. Did I hear?
There was a package you showed last week of the beets, which I actually have.
Oh, yes. I prepared all the packages for today to show yet again. We're about to move to carrots, and then I'll talk about beets. Okay, carrots and potatoes next. As my recipe say, it should be either 3 thin potatoes, smaller potatoes, or 2, big potatoes. I slice them in circles and semicircles. What I usually do, the narrow part of the carrot, I slice in circles, and then the wider part of the carrot, I just cut in half and then slice with semicircles. That's how it works. I'm showing the picture. Let me see. I want to make sure everybody can see. These are my carrots.
Irene,
Sliced, ready to go.
Irene, can you freeze the soup?
Theoretically, yes. Theoretically, yes. I never done it myself because I could eat it for 2 days. But I'm sure just as chicken soup, you could freeze it. Yes, why not?
Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's get going with carrots here. We mix it up after every new vegetable, every new ingredient is added. Next one are potatoes. I used white potatoes. I produced like 1 each chunks of potatoes, 2 small or medium potatoes. I don't like too many potatoes in my soup. They are not needed in big quantities because you have so many other vegetables there. Add it to the pot. Well, carrots are good for your eyesight. Onion, as I said, is good for your cholesterol, for your immune system. Celery is just refreshing taste. There'll be some other ingredients on the way. Beets. What about beets? You asked me the packages, to show you the packages. Okay, today you could have used either.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
I noticed that cabbage was not one of the ingredients, but I thought that was.
No, cabbage is one of the ingredients.
Oh, it is. Okay. I missed. Okay, I was looking at the list. I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it. Okay, no problem.
Among all vegetables, it's added last because it's very tender and it cooks very fast. And we don't need to add it before. And by amount of what's thickness of the soup, you could kind of judge a bit more of the cabbage, a bit less of the cabbage. Depends how thick you want your soup. And again, if you feel that you put too many or didn't put enough water, put too many vegetables, not a problem. Pick up some boiled water from your teapot, add a little bit, nobody would know. And I'm not going to tell. So,
okay, sounds good.
Going to be.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Keep asking. I love questions. So fresh beets. Bunch of fresh beets would be definitely grated, peeled, then grated. if you go with the package, and I prepared to show it to you, of Geffen organic red beets, ready to eat. They're already cooked. You don't even need to, I put them in the refrigerator, but they're kept without refrigeration in the supermarket.
Irene, I have a question.
Yes.
So I see the beets in the store. Sometimes they come with the greens on them.
Yep.
You know, the green, the top. Can you use the top in the borscht or throw that out?
Some people use beet leaves in a cold borscht. I don't use them. I do not use them. I'm sorry to say, they are used for some other things. I am unfortunately wasting them. I'm throwing them away.
Okay.
But if it's
Don't throw them away. Saute them with some onions. Wash them, take them off the stalks, and then saute them with onions. They're very good for you and very tasty.
Excellent. Next time, definitely. Thank you very
Not
much.
in the soup.
But they do not go in a borscht. Not in this borscht particularly. Maybe in a cold borscht. By the way, I went to the supermarket and looked at the ingredients of the cold borscht, what's called Russian borscht, in those big, jars, glass jars. And it just includes water, beets, sugar, and citric acid. That's what's cold borscht. You add up sour milk, you put it up egg, depends on your favorite recipe. My grandfather, who was born in Belarus, but lived in Russia later on, he actually loved most of all cold borscht. I love hot borscht. I generally love hot soups more than I like cold soups. But that's a cold borscht. So what am I doing has nothing to do with those borscht in a jar type of things. Going back to this, I already showed you this package. If this is unattainable, you go to the supermarket and you could easily find at our Stop and Shop nearby, there is this sliced beet can, which is sold with a kosher stamp. Sliced beets, whole beets, you could get them too, but then get 2 of them, 2 cans. 1 package or 2 cans of those.
Irene,
Yes.
can I show you what I found?
Yeah.
You were showing, I was looking for the beets. I didn't want to peel and I didn't want the can. I wanted that middle one, but I found this, which was already,
Hold on, I'll unpin myself. I'll look at everyone because I'm pinning, I'm looking at myself. Hold on a sec.
hold on, and I'll show you. It was,
Oh.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
right? So
many of them.
this way it was already like
Julienne, yes.
cut up. Yes. So I was excited when I saw that. So that's what
Ellen,
I,
Ellen, where'd you
Great.
get that?
Great.
I got it
Thank you for
in-
sharing that.
thank you, in a kosher supermarket in West Hempstead near my sister-in-law.
Oh.
That's my new
Excellent.
favorite place to shop.
Excellent. Thank you, Ellen. I'm pinning myself back. Love watching myself work. Okay. Going back to the pot. Let's mix it up one more time.
I have a question.
Sorry?
I have a beet question. So
Yeah.
the beets, so you're using already cooked beets. Can you use
Today,
beets?
for the time's sake, I actually prepared beets from this package. I usually, when I have time and I don't have to rush, I get fresh beets, of course. I peel them and I grate them. It's the reddest soup you could make. This will make slightly different color red, the darker red, but they're just as delicious, and the borscht, I promise you, will be just as great, as tasty.
Okay.
So let's see what I have here. This is bowl with my beets being sliced and ready for borscht. All 4 from the package go in a borscht. Okay, next. Next on the recipe I have written down, we have either stewed tomatoes or some kind of a pasta sauce with, usually I prefer with added basil or garlic or oregano, whichever you can find. What I could find preparing for today was this Barilla traditional sauce, savory sauce with oregano and basil. I'm going to show it to you close, of course. It's 24 ounces. I'm not going to use the entire jar. I probably would use half a jar. The rest will not be wasted. You could always use it with pasta, if you make pasta meatballs, if you make stuffed peppers, which I love to make too, you could use it up. So it's traditional, savory, oregano and basil Barilla pasta. It's Orthodox Union kosher, gluten-free, no preservatives. I like it. So happily. Adding up, mixing up. My soup became a beautiful red color already. Just a second, I'll call my cameraman Roman and he will show you the pot. Roman, please show everyone how my pot looks. That's my onion floating, celery, and everything else. And we're not done yet.
Good.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Even though, nope, I'll have to correct it. It's okay. I'll adjust. Okay, I think almost. It beat out. Great. That's it. Even though we use the paste, tomato paste, I always add ketchup. It has some other ingredients and some other flavor which I really, really, really need. Heinz tomato ketchup will just do. 2 tablespoons of ketchup are right here. Add them up to the pot. Oh, it smells so good. Smells great already. We're moving on. Next, we have cabbage. Cabbage is the last ingredient, besides garlic, I guess, which we add to the end of our cooking. I mean, after that, we just have to cook it a little bit. We're almost done with preparation of our. White cabbage, quarter of a cabbage head is here. Thinly chopped, and you know what you could also do? After you already chopped it, for the softness, you could kind of squeeze it a little bit with your hands so to produce more juice. I'm gonna do it right now. I don't know, I'll stay here so you can see me. Before I add it up, I'll just squeeze it a bit. Excellent.
Smells so good.
Thank you. Mixing it up again. Now, I have to tell you, some people like it sweeter, some people like it only sour, you know, and My father personally prefers it on a like a kind of more sour than sweet. So he squeezes a few drops of lemon juice out of fresh lemon. You could do it at the end if you feel you need a bit more of that sour note. But for now, we're done with the cabbage. Let it be. In 5 minutes, it will be cooked already. And since beets are already cooked, in my case, I took them out of the package. My soup is almost done. Now, few other ingredients. I crushed and chopped 2 garlic cloves. Here. They are right here. Finely chopped. When the borscht is ready, you won't notice how finely they are. You won't even see the garlic. You will just feel the flavor. So adding them up. 2 cloves of garlic. Next, we have a little bit of sugar to add. I don't know if some of you like it much sweeter, you can add another tablespoon, but I just use 1 tablespoon of sugar. Those who don't eat sugar could substitute it probably for the cane sugar, for some sugar substitute other. I don't use substitutes whatsoever. I just use plain sugar. I don't use sugar much in my kitchen at all. So that's one of the few cases I add sugar. 1 teaspoon.
So Irene, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
For those people, let's say that there is somebody diabetic in your family, or when you're preparing and they can't have sugar, what could you use instead of real sugar? Could you use something like stevia or a sugar substitute, or will those break down?
Exactly as I said, you want to switch from regular sugar to cane sugar, a little bit healthier, and it's just a teaspoon for the entire big pot. So it, but if you really cannot use any sugar, even a pinch of it, then go for sugar substitute, whichever you use in your regular. Diabetic people would know which sugar substitute to use.
Okay.
I mean, they have it on their kitchen tables. So instead of this, 1 package of whatever sugar substitute you usually use and like. That would be my advice. So we continue with that. And at the end, of course, there is salt. Before I add salt, just today I got some organic chives. So I also chopped them immediately. You could add it to the soup, or you could add it on top of the sour cream as a sprinkle when serving the soup, whichever you prefer. Chives, I could add. Half goes in the pot, half will stay for sprinkles. Now, just salt. I said how many I said? I said 1 tablespoon or more. It depends on your taste also. Some people like it saltier, some people don't eat salt at all. So it's an approximate measure. I use this wooden spoon. It's probably a little bit bigger than a 1 tablespoon. This is how much salt I will put. And mix it up. Roma, would you show the pot again, please? Inside the insides of the pot. Just look at the colors. White cabbage, green chive, red beets, beans, dark color, dark green for chives, light green for celery, and pepper now. You leave it on the stove for probably another 20 minutes or so. And then it is done. You could fine, take your own. After 20 minutes on the stove like this, it's still medium heat. You turn it off, you cover it. You cover the pot after you turn it off, and you probably give it 1 hour. And then you could serve it with a generous amount of sour cream, sprinkle of chives, sprinkle of dill, parsley, whichever your family prefers. And tomorrow, do not forget, tomorrow try it for real. In the morning, you could get that pot out of the refrigerator, take out onion, take out bay leaves. If you put extra stalks of celery, take them out too, throw them in the garbage. I mean, not the chopped ones, the ones which are extra. The rest stays in. Oh, and the ginger root. Do not forget the ginger root too.
Irene?
Yes?
Does it matter what kind of cabbage you use?
White is preferable, but I did make it a few times with the red cabbage as well.
How did it come out?
The color would be slightly different
Yeah.
inside the soup. You will see different color of cabbage, of course. Slightly different taste, but no dramatic difference. I would say you could use whichever you have.
Okay.
If you can get your hands on the white cabbage, buy red cabbage.
Irene,
Yeah.
I had a purple cabbage and my color looks a little different than yours. It smells delicious, but it does look a little bit different on the color. But I
And
did
it
use
still
the
will be great, I'm sure. You'll tell me later.
I sure will.
Any other questions, please?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you, oh. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. If you were to use meat in the recipe,
Yeah.
when would you put it in and what kind of meat?
Very good question. Since I'm introduced the vegetarian borscht, I didn't mention the option of meat, whatever you use.
I mean, is it traditional to go vegetarian with the borscht, or is it depending on your taste and likes or whatever?
You could have either. You could make
So
either. Both will be great. Lately I would prefer vegetarian. It's just lighter. It feels lighter. And again, I love it. That taste with sour cream. I really love that combination of sour cream and dill or chives on top. It's just great. But if you're a big friend of meat and really like protein in your diet, you could easily prepare a meat borscht. Your question was, in which sequence would the ingredients I just mentioned go? First, you prepare the bouillon. You prepare the meat. You put your beef, I guess beef would it be. In Ukraine, Jewish people cook it either as a vegetarian borscht, as a vegetarian soup, or as a beef soup. Ukrainians, Russians would cook it with pork and any other meats, but I'm going with beef now. So beef would be put in a pot, boiled with bay leaves, garlic. You prepare, you clear the soup, you make sure whatever flows up is removed. And then when the soup is clear, the bouillon you prepared is clear, then you start adding up all the other vegetable ingredients. So with the beef, onion goes in onion, whole onion. Bay leaves probably will go too. Ginger root or parsley root would go inside too. Cayenne pepper, paprika would go with probably with beef. After the clear soup is ready, everything else or whatever is on the surface is removed, you add up the rest, whatever is chopped. So you won't be able to, because before, if you add up any earlier, you won't be able to clear out the soup. So that would be the logic of preparation. Again, I prefer a vegetarian borscht. It's light, it's good for whatever you serve it with. Great taste. You won't even miss the taste of meat in it. Promise. Any other question?
Irene, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You said you make a lot of soups. I make a lot of soups. Do you always use a whole onion rather than cutting up the onion? Because I've never seen that done before, and maybe I should be doing that.
Depends on the soup. Very good question. For chicken soup, I use a whole onion and then I remove it.
Really?
For mushroom barbecue soup, I shred onion. Some people fry onions before putting them in the soup. My sister does it with some vegetarian cheese-based soup for summer. She fries onions, she put them in the mixer, and then she adds some grated cheese or whatever, and prepare like a cheese/vegetable soup. In the chicken noodle soup, my second favorite soup, my husband's favorite soup, I put a whole onion and I remove it later on. After everything is done, and yeah.
Excellent. First of all, it's less work for us. That's number one.
All the juice is there.
Right. I'm very excited. Okay, because I also make a good chicken soup, so that's good to know that I don't have to cut up the onion. All right.
Lately, imitating it partially, the Borscht recipe, I started adding up ginger root to the chicken soup. And of course, as a root peeled, cut in the middle, so more juice comes out, and then taken out of soup. And it gives it such a flavor. I strongly recommend trying once cooking with ginger root. Chicken soup would never be the same.
By the way, yeah, that addition, I first tasted. There was a wonderful shawarma and falafel restaurant in Roslyn a number of years back, and the woman used to make chicken soup, and it was redolent. It had ginger in it. Every spoonful made you feel great. You felt you were getting healthier with every spoonful that you had of that soup. That's a great addition.
Yes. Yes.
And you ever puree your borscht after you cook it?
Sorry, say it again, please.
You ever puree it, make it smoother?
I cannot quite hear you. Hold on, say it again.
Puree.
Oh, no, I'm not pureeing anything. You serve it as is. I'll mix it up one more time. I mean, the picture that you've seen on the flyer of this program, it's my picture taken from my soup. You could just look at the picture given, included in the flyer, and you'll see how it's supposed to look like. You see the vegetables in the soup, you'll see a dollop of sour cream on top, and a sprinkle of dill.
Thanks.
Hold on. Let me just show. It's not ready yet, but I'll just show you the consistency of the soup. I'll try to pour it out. It's not ready, completely ready yet. It has to stay for another, I would say 10-15 minutes. I'll just show you approximately how it looks. Of course, cabbage would lose its white color right now. Hold on, I'm trying to show. I don't know if you could see because of the steam. Cabbage, Roma will help you. One second. Show what's in the bowl. Cabbage still kind of looks white. It will be a bit darker. Too close, like this. But that's how it will look.
So another question is, I actually bought beets, peeled them, and grated them. Is that superior to going out and buying the ones that can?
Fresh beets are the best, without a question. Fresh beets grated would give you the brightest color, authentic taste. These beets are second substitute for it. And if nothing else, as I said, you go and you buy whatever is in the nearby store.
Can I ask you about these kind of beets? These are julienne. Julienne?
Yes, just like this one. They're absolutely usable because I'm gonna chop them anyway. I mean,
Right,
chop
right. Okay, okay.
big fresh beets, as I said, you grate. Beets which are already prepared, peeled, and cooked in a package like this. Of course, you would not grate. You would chop them in the shape I've shown. Canned beets also you chop them because they're just sliced. Slices. So you just chop them in half.
Chop them up.
Any other? Oh, by the way, some people in Ukraine love to serve their borscht with a big schmuck of bread, black bread, dark bread, and actually a clove of garlic. Some people even eat garlic cloves, like they bite on them, they eat the piece of bread, and then they eat this. Not recommended in big companies though, but some people do that.
Irene, so it's gonna cook a few more minutes.
Absolutely. Probably 7 up to 10 minutes. You won't overcook it. You will not overcook it.
Then when I shut it off, I'm gonna put the cover on and let it sit for an hour.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And if you have sour cream in your, and if you eat sour cream and your family likes sour cream, serve it with sour cream, sprinkle or chives, dill, whatever you have, parsley, whichever you like.
And the sour cream even goes on the warm, like I always think of sour cream with a cold soup. The sour cream goes on the hot soup.
Absolutely. No, it will not make it colder, but
Okay.
you mix it up and the taste becomes even more sophisticated. This is just a hot vegetable soup now, but with sour cream, it becomes something more, almost like a French cream.
Yes.
No meat.
Look at Lana. Lana's eating it and it looks delicious.
Wait. Where is she? Where is she?
Let me unpin and look for myself.
Oh, that's
Lana, where are you? I'm trying to find the video.
that looks
Lana
good.
today prepared her own borscht because they're celebrating Gary's birthday. That just proves that people in Ukraine love eating borscht. Jews in Ukraine, Poland, Lithuania love eating that borscht. And that's how borscht came to America. Those jars in the supermarkets, they so it's a cold borscht only. That's just a substitute for whatever you could do quickly. These borscht will probably give you a heartier, more flavorful, hot, delicious soup. Whole family would, sit around and enjoy with the bread, or if you don't need bread, I don't know, something else, pita chips, whatever you like. But I'm sure it will certainly make your table more colorful, more interesting, and it's suitable for any Jewish holiday, actually. Passover, Shavuot, it's all good. Any other questions, please?
No, but
It looks delicious. It looks really good. I'm definitely gonna try it.
Me too. I think I am too.
Yeah,
I'm
just
in the
gonna-
neighborhood. I have to tell you, I'm in the neighborhood. I don't live far away and I can smell it.
Me too. I live a couple blocks away.
By my apartment, it tastes
Your presentation, Irene, your presentation really makes me want to try to make the soup.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
It made you happy, which is nice.
I don't have, Irene Pauline, I don't have a question. What I want to say is you're a wonderful teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great,
I
Irene.
agree.
Thank you so
I
very much.
agree.
I told you about so many ingredients and no one asked what's in the beets. Why do we eat beets? Why do we like beets? Why do we use so many beets? There's vinaigrette. There's another dish which Russians love to eat, beet salad, maybe some other time. And there's beet soup. What's those beets? Why are they so good? Why they're so good for us? Beets actually, I even looked it up. They have so many benefits for our health. They're good for our blood pressure. They're good for our brains. They're good for our stomach, cleaning out the intestines. They are a source of so many things, vitamin A, vitamin C. They have many other interesting ingredients, minerals. Look it up for yourself. Maybe that will inspire you even more to become one of those people who cook borscht in their kitchen. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you, Irene.
That was
Thank
great.
you.
That was great.
Thank you, Irene.
That was wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Anna, what are you showing us?
Vinaigrette. What Irene just said. Because we have the whole table for Gary's birthday, and I made vinaigrette. And I
Ah.
the other half of the beets for my vinaigrette.
Oh,
Arcadia, what did she
oh,
say?
it looks good.
What is that?
Looks delicious.
That's a called vinaigrette, which I used half for my borscht and half for my vinaigrette salad. And
Oh,
vinaigrette.
Oh, right.
Delicious.
The other half of the beets, carrots, boiled potatoes, peas,
that looks great.
It does look good.
sauerkraut, pickles,
Now I'm really hungry.
oil, salt, and there you go.
Wow, that looks amazing.
And actually,
Fine.
borscht is also good to eat with the herring.
Oh, yeah.
Herring.
Lots of
Okay.
sharing.
Herring.
I also made beets, beet greens, and sweet potato.
Ooh.
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
Now,
nice.
yeah,
Really good.
From
I have
fresh,
seen, by the way, Irene, I have seen sometimes in borscht, my Bubba used to do this. She was a diabetic. And instead of putting sugar, she would sometimes put chopped raisins instead of sugar, because raisins are high in natural sugar, just as frankly the beets are themselves.
Beets are sweet.
Beets is sweet, but that was an
Very
interesting
interesting.
addition.
I eat
Very
pickled
interesting,
beets with schnitzel. I make chicken cutlets and I just eat the pickled beets as a side thing. It's unbelievable. It goes
I
so
love
well
pickled
together.
beets.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
My mother raised me. She was Viennese, so she gave me beets, and my father loved the cold borscht. So I always used to watch him with the sour cream, but I think he ate it cold with the potato and with the potato or something,
Yeah.
and right.
With
Yeah.
hot potato in, cold borscht with hot potato in, or
Yeah.
something. I remember my grandparents eating it. It was one of their most favorite dishes. By the way, I have to mention, I'm so happy Lana is on one of the screens. She is the one who would
Oy.
invite you into her kitchen the next Sunday to show you beautiful,
Can't wait.
delicious recipes of her homemade
What is she making?
sushi, if she would like to say a few words.
Who?
Sushi.
I'm making
All
sushi.
right, she makes sushi.
I'm just a beginner because I only learned how to make them during the COVID stay home period because I have to introduce my family to other dishes besides what I do on a daily basis. So we want to, because we didn't go out to eat, I have to make my own go out eating. And I Googled it out and I made sushi a few
Wow.
and my family enjoyed it. So
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Did you say
Yeah,
sushi?
sounds,
Sushi.
that'll be exciting
Sushi.
too.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
Lana, we're
That
gonna
was
get
an old song. If you knew sushi like I know sushi.
but sushi can be done in my house personally. It's an open table. You basically point whatever you want in your sushi, and that's what I roll in.
Nice.
Oh,
We have varieties of vegetables.
really?
It can be only vegetables, or you can put salmon. You can put salmon or regular salmon, smoked salmon, or you can put tuna or
We used to get it with smoked
other
salmon.
things. In it. Sometimes I put mango.
Yeah.
I like mango and sushi.
Oh, right.
Lana, is there a
Right.
special, not smoked salmon, but is there a special kind of salmon or tuna you're supposed to get, like a sushi salmon, a sushi
No,
tuna that
I
you're supposed to buy?
use regular salmon that you put on the bagel. Then salmon.
Okay.
Oh, that's lox. Lox or nova.
Cut little mashy pieces.
Got it.
Or you can use the whole thing on top. And
Right.
just when you roll it up.
We're sounding like this.
Oh, okay. I'll have that.
I have to tell you that with sushi now.